Let me start this episode with a confession. I never got into the first-person shooter genre of video games. I couldn't get into Halo despite my love for Red vs. Blue. I only cared about zombies and Infinite Warfare, the only Call of Duty game I played. I dropped Apex Legends hard since launch, and despite how fun Destiny and Borderlands are, the writing were both weak for completely different reasons. Destiny had boring characters with a stupid way of telling its story, while Borderlands was just unfunny. But there is one FPS franchise that I'm all in for, and that's... id Software as a whole has a rich and interesting history that I encourage you to learn more about. But this video is about Doom, so I'll just be talking about the Doom franchise and its history. The two co-founders of id, John Carmack and John Romero, came up with the idea of Doom based on the D&D games they played, which combined the stylings of Evil Dead 2 and Aliens. Originally going under the name Green and Pissed, a name I should really copyright sometime for funsies, a year of development commenced from November 1992 to December of 1993. Going under the finalized title of Doom, the game released on PCs for free on December 10th, 1993. Yes, I said for free, with an asterisk. After completing the free version, you could pay around $40 to get the complete version with more levels and content, which could be seen as the birth for the consumer video game demo. Doom 1 was well received for its graphics, fast-paced gunplay, and well-designed levels that encouraged exploration. While Doom 1 was played by millions, profits were limited, since while you didn't get the complete version for free, there was still a lot of well-designed and fun content that the free download had, so some customers didn't want to pay more. This led to Doom 2, released in 1994, to be sold as a complete product with no free option in sight, but that didn't stop the praise and sales of the game to keep rolling. Doom 64 would come out in between the time of Doom 2 and 3, and to be honest, that game deserves its own video that I hopefully should be able to make later this year. Anyway, Doom 3 came out in 2004 and gave the series a shakeup, being focused on horror and story as opposed to fast-paced bloody buffalo gunplay like the last two. This naturally caused opinions on 3 to be mixed, but mostly heard it's an okay game but not a phenomenal Doom game. This brings us to Doom 4's development, which I don't feel like going into deeply because Matt and his McMuscles already did a good job of recapping the development hell of this game with devilish detail, so I'll be providing the Cliff Notes version. Because of the success of Call of Duty in 2007, Doom 4 tried to be like a Call of Duty game with demons, to the point where people inside of id were calling it Call of Doom as a funny haha name. Doom 4 was going really poorly, so id scrapped it and decided to reboot the franchise from scratch, which gave us Doom 2016, released in May of 2016 after nearly a decade of development. And when the game came out, it was considered one of the best video game reboots of all time. And now I shall dissect this game to see why everyone loves it so much. So the story of Doom... Okay, let's get that elephant in the room out of the way. So John Carmack isn't fond of stories in video games, which made Doom 3's direction even more shocking at the time. Despite Carmack having left id during Doom 2016's development, they decided to mix a lack of story and story together, which sounds bizarre on paper, but let me explain. There's a big story going around the Doom Slayer, but he usually ignores it in comedic ways to get back to exterminating demons. But if you like the story presented in those bits, you can always read the cards in the menu, which gives me Destiny 1 vibes in the worst way possible. I would rather they take a From Software approach to the story, where the expanded lore is told through visuals and side missions, rather than making me read a wiki page in-game. It's not as bad as Destiny 1, but I'm still not fond of this style of storytelling. But may as well do like the Carmack and focus on gameplay for a while. It's good! Okay, I can't leave it at that, because there's actually a lot to talk about with the way Doom plays. Doom 2016 uses the old games as a basis, meaning that you can't sprint, but your default running speed is fast, no regenerating health, and there's no reloading your guns, which are all mechanics found in classic Doom. But the rest of the gameplay doesn't limit itself to classic Doom standards, as seen with the glory kill mechanic. You still shoot enemies and have the option to punch them to deal damage, but when the enemy starts glowing orange and blue after it takes enough hits, you can perform a glory kill, which has the Doom Slayer using his bare hands to kill the demon quickly and gorily with the benefit of getting extra health. And you're gonna need those health pickups, since you're gonna be fighting a lot of enemies all at once, and they will not let up until you're dead. You're gonna need some serious reflexes if you want to get through the forces of hell without a scratch. The difficulty brings me to an interesting point of how Doom isn't just a great first-person shooter experience, but a great character action game experience. Now, I know the character action subgenre is a very vague term, but I'll try to explain what is it. If you're interested in learning more about the genre after this video, I recommend checking out Foxcade's various videos on character action games. Anyway, character action games are usually stuff like Devil May Cry and the various Platinum Games projects where the combat is fast-paced with difficult enemies to fight which require you to master your weaponry and the surrounding level design to win the day. While yes, it's not exactly like a character action game since there's no style equals reward meter for well-executed combat maneuvers, but I still think there's more similarities between the two than differences. Even the way you get weapons and upgrades feels very Devil May Cry-ish, which helpfully segues to... I like the Doomslayer's animations a lot. No matter if he's savoring the new weapon he just found, playing with a toy of himself, or dying, he's really cute, and the first-person perspective just enhances the immersion that you are the Doomslayer, or in my case, the Doomslayer who sucks at his job. Dang it! The graphics and art direction are excellent, with updated designs for the Doomslayer and the demons, making them even cooler than in the original, along with various detailed vistas and buildings of Mars and Hell. Luckily, the level design isn't just style over substance, as it's really good. With the inclusion of a jump button, there's now a surprising amount of platforming challenges in this game. Luckily, the platforming fits in naturally with the game design, which is a pleasant surprise for a mechanic that shakes up how you fight and explore. While Doom has always been known for its exploration and puzzles, all these new movement options and collectibles take it to the next level. While I'm not a guy who explores every nook and cranny of a game with a few exceptions, I've seen many others who do, relishing in the thrill of collectible hunting. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I covered all the major points I want to hit of this game. Guess I gotta wrap this up. So, throughout this video, you might have been hearing this game's amazing rocking metal soundtrack composed by Mick Gordon of Wolfenstein and Killer Instinct fame that fits with the violent and gore-soaked gameplay of Doom perfectly. Doom is a fast-paced and hardcore game, so it deserves a fast-paced and hardcore soundtrack, which thankfully is Mick's specialty. But don't just take my word for it, here's some samplings of the tunes. Doom 2016 proudly joins Metal Gear Rising and Killer Instinct with great metal video game soundtracks to put on while you work out. Also, the rest of the sound design, from firing your gun to ripping a demon's head off, helps add some crunchy punch to already satisfying combat. Doom 2016 is my new favorite first-person shooter ever. While I do have my issues of how the story is told, the gameplay, progression system, and exploration are A-class stuff. I'm not sure how I'll feel about Doom Eternal since people have been mixed on if it's a superior sequel, but I'm sure I'll enjoy it when I get around to it. At the time of recording, Doom is dirt cheap and is available on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. Though be warned that because of Nintendo tax, the Switch version is the most expensive version. So only get that version if you really want portable Doom or if it's the only system you have. But no matter if it's on the go or at home, Doom 2016 is... Okay, what's a word that hasn't been used to describe this game? Doom 2016 is a Buffalo Wild Wing. Also, yes, I'm aware I did not mention the multiplayer, but I don't have PS Plus and I really don't care.